The time is 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Dilini Gunawardena and read by Tilani Pires. The headlines. Early landslide warnings are issued to several areas of the island. The President meets foreign ministers of the UK and South Africa. Cabinet approval is granted to accept medical degrees offered by renowned foreign universities. Japan assures continuous support to restore the Sri Lankan economy. The Grade 5 scholarship exam of this year will be held on the 15th Sunday. And on international news, Hamas warns Israelis in the southern city to evacuate amid rocket attacks. And on sports news, cricket, World Cup 2023 Sri Lanka-Pakistan match is currently underway in Hyderabad. Due to the heavy rains in the island, 3 sluice gates of the Polgolla Dam have been opened and residents in the area below the dam have been warned to remain vigilant. The public is further informed that the road over the Polgolla Dam will be closed today and tomorrow. The NBRO has issued a landslide early warning message regarding several areas of the island. Accordingly, Level 3 red notice has been issued to Hakmana, Akurassa and Pitabadra in the Mathura district. Level 2 amber notice has been issued to Haputale and Haldamulla in the Badulla district. Imaduwa, Golfur Gravats, Yakkalamulla, Ambalangoda, Akmimana, Niyagama, Baddegama, Nagoda, Tavalama, Neluwa, Bope, Poddala and Alpiti areas in the Gaul district and Valasmulla, Katuana in the Hambantota district. Ingiriya, Matugama and Valallavita in the Kaluthara district and Yatiyantota, Ruwanwala, Dehiovita and Dharaniyagala in the Kagala district are under Level 2 warnings as well. Level 2 warnings are also relevant to Mathura 4 Gravats, Pasgoda, Kotapala, Athurugiriya, Kirinda, Puhulwala, Tiagoda, Valipitiya, Mulatiyana, Kamburupitiya and Malambada in the Mathura district and Kuruvita, Ratnapura, Alapata, Kalavana and Haliagoda in the Ratnapura district. Meanwhile, Level 1 warning has been issued to Okevala and Beliatta in the Hambantota district, Palindanwara, Bulat Sinhala, Durangoda and Agalavatta in the Kaluthara district, Kagala and Bulat Kohupitiya in the Kagala district and Opanayaka, Kahavatta, Palmadulla, Godakavala, Kiriyalla, Valigepola, Kolonna, Ayagama, Nivitagala and Imbulpe areas in the Ratnapura district. The UK Minister of State for the Indo-Pacific Anne-Marie Trevelyan, who is currently in Sri Lanka to attend IORA, paid a courtesy call on President Ranil Wickremesinghe a short while ago. The duo discussed a range of topics including the economic recovery of Sri Lanka and the progress of the Truth and Reconciliation Bill on Online Safety Bill and the Anti-Terrorism Bill. Meanwhile, South Africa's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Naledi Pandor, who is currently in Sri Lanka attending the IORA summit, met President Ranil Wickremesinghe today. The President expressed his gratitude for the support extended by South Africa in the development of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and said, as the chair of IORA, he intends to strengthen the Indian Ocean region's identity. The Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to take steps to enact necessary legal arrangements so that the medical degrees offered by foreign universities among the international rankings from number 1 to 1000 can be accepted in Sri Lanka. Earlier in May, the Cabinet of Ministers approved the appointment of a committee headed by the Secretary of the Prime Minister to prepare a national policy that includes the standards and criteria of the recognition of medical degrees offered by internationally recognized universities in Sri Lanka and to make appropriate recommendations to amend the provisions of the medical ordinance to suit the current needs. Accordingly, the approval has been granted for the joint proposal submitted by the President with the Minister of Health to take the necessary steps to enact the necessary legal arrangements based on the report contained in the recommendations of the appointed committee so that medical degrees offered by foreign universities among the international rankings from 1 to 1000 can be accepted in Sri Lanka. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Excelsior. Live the life you want.
The Japanese Parliamentary Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, Komuro Masahiro, handed over the donation of Japan under the World Food Programme Emergency Response Programme and the programme to provide lunch to the school children at the Presidential Secretariat today. Minister Masahiro further expressed pleasure at being able to assist the island in overcoming the economic crisis. President's Senior Economic Advisor Dr. R.H.S. Samaratunga expressed gratitude regarding the assistance rendered by Japan to overcome the difficulties faced by the island. He added that Japan has donated food worth at $10 million under the World Food Programme. The Grade 5 scholarship exam of this year will be held on the 15th Sunday. The Department of Examinations said lectures, seminars, tuition classes and workshops related to the Grade 5 scholarship examination have been banned from tomorrow midnight until the conclusion of the exam. The department further said strict action will be taken against those who violate the ban. The Grade 5 scholarship exam will be held in 2,888 centres. The second paper will be given from 9:30 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. and the first paper will be given from 11:15 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. Meanwhile, those who did not apply for the GC A-Level examination 2023 yet are allowed to apply through the online mode till midnight today. Further details in this regard can be obtained from the website of the department on www.donets.lk. That's the website of the department on www.donets.lk or www.onlineexams.gov.lk. That ends the local news now.
People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you. People's Bank Excelsior, for professionals who dare to dream.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has arrived in Sri Lanka this evening to attend the 23rd Council of Ministers meeting of the Indian Ocean Rim Association, which will be hosted by Sri Lanka from tomorrow. On arrival at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunaika, the Indian Foreign Minister was welcomed by Sri Lanka's State Minister Dr. Suresh Raghavan and the High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, Gopal Bagle. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
And on Watch Light tonight, the Department of Meteorology today issued a red alert for thunder showers accompanied by severe lightning in parts of the island. Accordingly, people in north central, eastern and central provinces as well as in Badulla, Kagala, Vavuniya, Mullaitivu and Mannar districts have been advised to be on alert about thunder showers and severe lightning in the evening or at night. The Met Department further warned that temporary localized strong winds can be expected during thunder showers. That came to you in Watch Light. Moving on with world news and the headlines first. Hamas warns Israelis in southern city to evacuate amid rocket attacks. A new study warns that many flowering plants are threatened with extinction. The Nobel Prize for Economic Sciences is awarded to Professor Claudia Goldin. Hamas warns people in the southern Israeli city of Ashkelon to leave by 1700 hours local time. Air raid sirens have sounded across Israel and the military says more than 4,500 have been fired since Saturday. Meanwhile, Palestinian authorities say that over 700 people have been killed by the strikes. Israel says it's continuing to bomb the Gaza Strip after hitting 200 targets overnight. However, Hamas say it won't negotiate on the hostages it has taken from Israel until the end of the battle. Scientists have warned that 45% of the world's known flowering plants could be threatened by extinction. Those under threat include orchids, varieties of pineapple, and many important crop species. 77% of the nearly 19,000 new plants and fungi species discovered since 2020 are thought to be endangered. The study by the Royal Botanic Gardens in England examined research by 200 scientists in 30 countries. The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences has decided to award the 2023 Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences to Professor Claudia Goldin for having advanced the understanding of women's labour market outcome. This year's Economic Sciences laureate was the first woman to receive tenure in Harvard's Economics Department in 1989. Professor Goldin provided the first comprehensive account of women's earnings and labour market participation through the centuries. Her research reveals the cause of change as well as the main sources of the remaining gender gap. Back to the world news headlines. Hamas warns Israelis in southern city to evacuate amid rocket attacks. A new study warns that many flowering plants are threatened with extinction. The Nobel Prize for Economic Sciences is awarded to Professor Claudia Golding. That ends World News.
Development News.
The much-awaited passenger ferry service linking Sri Lanka with India will recommence Thursday when a service will start connecting India's Nagapattinam and Sri Lanka's Kankesanture. This is the second international connectivity to Jaffna, the first being Chennai-Jaffna daily flights. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva said that this was planned almost 6 months before but was delayed due to various reasons. That came to you in Development News. Sports news and its cricket. The match between Sri Lanka and Pakistan is currently underway in Hyderabad, India. After winning the toss, Sri Lanka chose to bat and scored 344 runs for 9 wickets in the end of 50 overs. In reply, Pakistan had scored 151 runs for 2 wickets at the end of 27 overs a short while ago. That was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship ekaka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
SLT Mobitel introduces an enhanced whistleblowing procedure to further strengthen the organization's environment, social and governance policies. A key component of the upgraded procedure in the impartial whistleblowing unit, which comprises a panel completely independent from SLT Mobitel to conduct preliminary investigations into reported incidents. The improved SLT Mobitel Group whistleblowing procedure enables company employees, any stakeholder connected to the organization or the public to report concerns about suspected serious misconduct that may adversely affect the company's customers, shareholders, employees, investors, or the public at large. That came to you in Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship ekaka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
The first ever National Supply Chain Day celebrations in Sri Lanka will be held on the 24th of October 2023 at Shangri-La, Colombo by the Institute of Supply and Materials Management. The National Supply Chain Day has been declared in order to facilitate wider prosperity and growth of economic affairs of Sri Lanka through training and developing supply chain professionals. A commemorative stamp will also be launched to mark this event. That came to you in Economic News.
Weather report.
Showers or thundershowers will occur over most parts of the island during the afternoon or night. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Uva, Central, Sabaragama and Eastern provinces. A few showers may occur in the coastal areas of the Western and Southern provinces during the morning. That was the weather report. And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. Early landslide warnings are issued to several areas of the island. The President meets foreign ministers of the UK and South Africa. Cabinet approval is granted to accept medical degrees offered by renowned foreign universities. Japan assures continuous support to restore the Sri Lankan economy. The Grade 5 scholarship exam of this year will be held on the 15th Sunday. And on international news, Hamas warns Israelis in the southern city to evacuate amid rocket attacks. And on sports news, cricket, World Cup 2023 Sri Lanka-Pakistan match is currently underway in Hyderabad. That ends this news broadcast, and it's now back to Chandima Virakon as always on a Tuesday night. Back to you, Chandima.